What is going on, GLE Network? Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. The 12 days are not up yet. So we're continuing to celebrate Christmas through all 12 days. Got the throwback GLE hat on with the original logo. And I still love the fitted new era hats. Reminds me of my baseball days. And probably the reason I have this crease in my forehead from wearing hats that are too small. But might have been my absolutely ridiculously pumped up football helmet liner padding too. But man, I still love this hat. You probably see me most often in my I got some GLE custom melon hats, really like MELIN melon hats. They're pretty cool and really good quality hats that are pretty awesome. And we're gonna be opening a GLE gear store soon, so stay tuned for that. Be on the lookout. If you want to grab some GLE gear coming out, we're gonna come out with some pretty cool stuff. I want to say thank you to everybody. I'm super humbled this holiday season. I've had an outpouring of generosity from the GLE network, and so many of you have been leaving tremendous reviews, subscribing to the Phil Swanson YouTube channel, and we recently announced over 100 subscribers and just crossed 30,000 views as of January 1st. In just a couple more days, already up to 150 subscribers and 36,000 views. As I went back and looked at the analytics, over 90% of that growth, we've been putting out content for 4 years now, something like that, 3-4 years ish, pretty decently consistent. Almost over 90% of that growth has been in the last 365 days, especially in the last couple months. So just over the last year and 6 months or so. So think about that. It's a lot of years of a lot of time putting stuff out where you're asking questions: who's seeing this, who's watching, what's the deal. And starting this journey, I'm actually rereading Tony Watley's book Side Hustle Millionaire, which kind of kickstarted my journey several years ago. And if y'all want to check that out, it's on the 365 Driven podcast. So go check out Tony's podcast, 365 Driven, and check out that book. I found it really helpful for anybody thinking about starting their own business. But it's a testament to staying with it, keep going, acting on faith in uncertainty. And we got a long way to go. And I'm thankful for y'all being on the journey with me. And if you haven't yet, pause the show right now. And if you would please go to YouTube and just search Phil Swanson. And my channel should pop right up. You can put a GLE at the end, Phil Swanson GLE, if it doesn't. But just click on that channel and subscribe. Sure would appreciate it. And even if you don't listen to the YouTube or the audio, if you can go do that, and also the audio platforms, specifically Apple and Spotify, kind of the primary ones. We may be casting the show out to several more platforms. In addition to that, there's just so many platforms these days. Might as well make it available on all of them. But if you go to Apple and Spotify, those are really the big ones for like ratings and reviews at the moment. So if you can go there, as many of you have recently, I appreciate all those kind reviews, and share your thoughts, reviews of the show. Give me a little rating and review. I would appreciate it. All right. And we'll get back to the show. So, we got a couple different show formats. We got Real Truth, which you're going to get today. Some are longer, some are shorter. This one's pretty brief, but we also do some interviews, and I've got some awesome ones lined up for 2024. So stay tuned for that. And today's Real Truth is talking about the word for the year. Have you seen this on social media? So many people are coming up with a word to define their year. They want to almost prophesy over their year, speak, manifest. I like it, I like the idea. Sounds good. Coming up with a word to kind of guide your focus for the year. It's all good. It's all good. I think words are helpful, like GLE's core values: faith, love, truth, courage. It's kind of a guiding, these guiding principles are helpful for decision making. And you not only need to know where to go, but as I've been talking about goals with some people close to me, we're talking a lot also about identifying specifically where you don't want to go. And for me, I find it most helpful many times to kind of hold up the curbs. This is kind of what God's law is for us, right? It can be a curb that keeps us on the road, right? It tells us, well, hey, don't take that path over there. You need to stay on this path. And so you identify, put up those boundaries. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. Like, period, decision made, end of conversation. Not to say we're perfect and we don't mess up, but it's a lot more helpful, I find, to just pre-make the decision. And then when that conversation starts to happen in your mind where you and Andy Frisella talks about this in some language I won't use here just for the sake of staying clean. But that voice in your head that you start arguing with yourself. And it's like, say you're on a diet and you go to a restaurant and you get there and you kind of think in your side, all right, I'm going to stick to my diet. And you get to the restaurant and then there's a bowl of chips sitting there, or somebody orders a margarita or a drink or whatever, and all of a sudden in your head you're like, well, I was going to stick to this diet, but I can. It's just one meal. I could have this one meal. It's not a big deal, and you can. And it's just one of those things where if you continually give in to those voices in your head, it'll become a pattern where personal discipline, is nearly impossible. So helpful to pre-make that decision. So when that voice comes up, you say, nope, not listening to your voice, not doing it. Shut up. You're gone. Don't even think about it. Keep moving on your path. And if you're putting long-term goals in a focus and setting aside some short-term comforts, right? This is really how you maintain that discipline, is putting those curbs up. But back to the main point of the word for the year. Have you all ever heard that Jesus is the word of God? Have you heard this? So I'm not going to spend a ton of time getting into deep on this, but I just want to share that my word for this year and every year is Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the Son of God. John 1:1 says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. 1:14, the Word became flesh, right? Christmas time. What's it all about? The Word, Jesus, becoming flesh, to be made manifest. The Word became flesh. The Word was manifest, dwelt among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. And in Revelation 19, he is dressed in a robe dipped in blood, and his name is the Word of God. So I'd encourage you, as you go about your year and you're making your goals, make sure your goals include not only one word that you might pick to guide your steps, but the word that you are reading, studying, inwardly digesting, and applying to your life every single day. The bread, your daily bread, which is the most important thing as you embark on 2024 and go lead everything. Share the show, subscribe. We'll see you all on the next one.